Has expired. I give the call to Member for McKellar.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I rise today to acknowledge an incredible individual within Narrabeen who is living an eventful century. Mr Richard Burgess, being one of 7 children, was born in 1920 and turned 100 last year. What a year to turn 100 in. Being one of the renowned Rats of Tobruk, Mr Burgess has an incredible history with a lot of unbelievable memories when talking about his life. Born in Pembula on the far south New South Wales coast, Mr Burgess attended a local primary school until at the age of 14. He joined his father's butcher business. When World War II broke out, Mr Burgess joined the Australian Army's 2nd 17th Infantry Battalion and in late 1940 travelled on the Queen Mary to the Middle East. Explaining that within the 6.5 months he was in Tobruk, he had a few close calls and scary moments, admitting that it was not an experience he wanted to go through again. In late 1942, at the Second Battle of Alamein, Mr Burgess was left to die, as a piece of shrapnel had penetrated through his skull. Fortunately, he was picked up and found himself at the 15th Scottish General Hospital in Cairo. In 1943, after constantly badgering the matron, Mr Burgess was shipped back to Australia, and for the next 40 years he worked in postal services with the Postmaster General's Department, which then became Australia Post. Though through night schools and TAFE, Mr Burgess improved his education and was moved into administration. Always being an enthusiastic person, Mr Burgess joined the New South Wales Cricket Umpires and Scorers Association, where he became a first-class umpire at the SCG. And when the association celebrated its centenary in 2013, he was one of the first inductees into the Hall of Fame. Meeting his wife in 1943, Mr Burgess explained that being hit on the head was the best thing that ever happened to him. As if he hadn't been injured, he would have gone back to being a butcher and wouldn't have got into the PMG's department, got married, had 2 beautiful daughters and made a lot of friends. I'd like to commend Mr Burgess as he makes all the Northern Beaches community tremendously proud today. So today, let us look to Mr Burgess's incredibly eventful century of endless determination and enthusiasm. Because of people like him, we live in both a free and fair country. We thank you for your sacrifice.